Hello YouTube. You being here means that you have a same problem that I used to have with my Chevy Express van 6-cylinder 4.3, which was generic Misfire. So I literally took everything and did everything to it to discover what was the problem, and it actually cost me a lot of money to figure out what was the issue, which I'm going to share with you guys so you guys know what to look for, and hopefully this video will save you some time and lots of money. So after getting the generic Misfire cylinder 5 check engine, I did the standard what everybody on the world or anybody on the internet did, the same thing. I started with the spark plugs. After spark plugs we went to cables, changed cables, the engine coil was still on, went changing distributor, still same problem. The engine was running rough on the low RPMs. Once I put it in reverse and low RPMs, it was like shaking. Just you can notice that something was badly wrong with it. So I got fed up and we went a step further. We actually changed the whole spider. That actually cost me money. We went to the junkyard and got a second set of injectors, switched them, started driving. I put a injector cleaner, drove it for a couple tanks of gas, and it was having the same issue, same problem, which got me really mad. So that didn't help either, so I said, like, fuck it. I took it to the GM. It was sitting at the GM for a few days. After a few days, GM called me up and said, hey, yeah, we put a scanner and the scanner shows multiple misfires. I'm like, well, since I was doing everything to it, it's not surprising, but I'm concerned with the cylinder 5 because that's what keep on showing up. And I did this, I did that, like I explained everything what I did, and they're like, well, we can do some more searching for $110 per hour, which I said, like, fuck that, you're not gonna play Dora the Explorer with my van for $110 an hour. So we actually went old school. So we decided to check everything. So we went from ground wires to injector wires, like we checked every single wire. And then I actually went to one of my friends and I talked to him, and he's also a mechanic, so he's like, well, maybe it's not electric, because if you checked everything electric, maybe it's not electric. So we went actually back to the old school. We started like looking everything at it. So we did the compression test and it showed 150, so that was good. So my dad went cylinder pressure check. So cylinder 5 that had a misfire, as you can see in the picture, had bad leak. So just to make sure that we had a good measures, we actually set a timing so both valves were closed in the cylinder 1. So we checked cylinder 1, and as you can see, cylinder 1 was pretty good. It's actually really good. So that gave us kind of insight that we had to buy a scope, video scope. So we bought a video scope to inspect the cylinder. So we looked at it and it looked pretty rough and beat up. So my dad's like, well, it's probably burned out valve. So we took the head off, we did the inspection, and after taking the head off, I actually bought a head gasket set and everything. So as you can see, start pulling shit off, and this took quite a while. So when we were done with it, as you can see, or you will see in a bit, valve was pretty rough, but it wasn't burned out. But after we took it off, we started looking, and you can see the cylinder head, or another cylinder valve seat, was pretty bad. Like, it was horrible. So I was like, whoa, what the hell? The valve's not burned, cylinder valve seat, or the valve seat is pretty damaged. Like, what the hell was going on? So he took lifters out. So after we take the lifters out, we figure out, like, well, it's a bad back. So we replaced all the lifters, we machined the head, we machined valves, everything. We got it in measures, we put it back, and ta-da! So my advice to you is, before you start shoveling money at it, do the cheap stuff, do the spark plugs, do the wires. If you can borrow a distributor, because distributor is kind of expensive, sure, but other than that, I would pressure check the cylinders. If you have a leak, you pretty much have either bad lifters, or maybe your spring broke. Like, that's another possibility that we were thinking, like maybe the spring's broken, right? In my case, it ended up being bad lifters, so we changed all the lifters, bought a newer lifters, and the fucking like it used to. Well, I hope this video helped you, and sorry. Well, finally, after, I don't know, about 10 days, it works. Finally works. It works as it should. Thank God. I lost all of my patience with this, and my money. How about Lucas oil stabilizer? Finally works like it used to. Thank God. And there's no check engine.